Morning.
In the area, call me in the city, call me if you third. If the brothers on the L's in that word, call me in the city, call me if you third. Everybody in the area, in the city, call me 60. Brothers on the L's in that.
Oh. I don't know how this old girl hasn't broken down yet, but we're still kicking. I'm gonna try to get some training in today, but I'm not exactly sure what that looks like yet. I have started focusing on some new stuff as far as mobility, so I know I'll get some mobility out. And I know this sounds kind of weird and crazy, but that's sort of part of me. I am a little bit weird and crazy. I think my new thing that I'm developing for myself is what I will coin emotional mobility. Let's talk about it over coffee. Last night, I was really sore, and I was just kind of like laying in bed, and I was feeling like really tight, and I was cleaning my apartment and trying to get ready to do for Brazil, and I was just feeling crappy, and I remembered, all right, so when I was living in New York, I was in acting school, right? I took ballet, jazz, movement classes, voice classes, all these like make your body or make your instrument as the actor give it more tools, right? Okay. One of those movement classes we talked about moving with emotion.
Okay.
And so last night I was like really tight, like my shoulders, everything, like feels like injuries almost. And I decided to try doing some of that movement. And as I was doing it, I felt like my shoulders were going pop, 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 pop. And they don't normally do that. And I was like finding spots in my body where I'd like feel pain, and then it would bring up like this, like emotional response. Sort of like what I worked through when I was doing acting classes or movement classes. Like this is something I have experience in. But I've never thought about pairing that with mobility work. Because I feel like, when you're thinking about mobility, right? You're like finding more of a range. You're trying to like de-inhibit your body or like open it up to like movement possibilities. And then you're trying to build strength in those. But to like break through some of those, there's like injuries, old injuries or like pain. And that pain can elicit emotional responses. Like, I don't know if you ever heard of like reflexology or like, you ever seen someone who like has a chiropractic adjustment and they start crying?
Yeah.
There's something to that. I just started moving, right? And I used to do this with like music to dance, and like we do it in a classroom. But last night I was doing it, and I was like pushing through this like, I think it was definitely this shoulder. I found a stuck point. And as I was moving through it, I was like physically getting angry. And then there was like a release in there. And then I felt better. And then my whole body felt better. Now, I'm thinking about doing that more often to like increase mobility. But then there's also like, I don't know. You know how I am about like emotions, and I think they're important, right? There's something to like emotions getting stuck in your body, and if you can trigger an emotional response through physically moving and then allow that emotion to go through, it's almost like it feels like therapeutic. So I think I'm going to start implementing, and I'm calling it emotional mobility, but it'd be like mobility work with the express purpose of like opening up and de-inhibiting the body, but also allowing emotional triggers out while you're doing it. It makes me think of this question. If your girl breaks up with you, breaks your heart, you're in pain. What's the difference between that kind of pain and like a pain in your shoulder? What's the difference in pain? You know? Is it different? Or are we just using the same word to describe different phenomenon? Or is there something to the fact that you can feel, if you're feeling pain in your shoulder, that could be the same feeling as when you feel pain in your heart or your stomach, like your gut drops whenever something bad happens. And I wonder if there's some connection to that. And so if you're able to like grieving is working through pain. So maybe there's some concept of like physically grieving an injury, like working through the pain of an injury and opening it up and then like kind of having that release of pain and trying to work through it. And then that could like somehow connect to this emotional response you recognize in yourself. Because there's also like that's pain's one way, but there's another one, like this is just from like stuff from acting. Like if you can engage like your lower back or like your sacrum, people talk about like chakra stuff. This isn't what I'm talking about, but I think what I'm talking about is the same phenomenon people talk about when they talk about chakras. But like if you can get low and like release low in your gut and your belly and like release it and shake, there's like literally physically like laughter and joy that comes out. And that's like the same thing of like you're releasing some tension, and all laughter is releasing of tension. And I think laughter is not really an emotion, but it's like a response to surprise and joy or something. That can happen whenever you release parts of your body as well. So it seems like there's connection. I just don't know if I'm making that connection or if it really exists. Like, am I just confirming my own bias or not, Yeah.
I mean, like...
This is a post-open mat. Letting you know it's open mat. Oh yeah. Both of them did that to me. Both got shit put me down.
Yeah.
What do swords do?
Kill people.
Close. Kyle, what do swords do?
Swords cut.
Yes, sir.
Apart from that, it is not fitting to the true way to cut someone down by pivoting one's wrists, twisting one's body, jumping, or pulling back, because you cannot perform the act of cutting a man down by pivoting, twisting, jumping, or pulling back. These are entirely futile movements. In the strategy of my school, keep your body and mind straight and make your opponent go through contortions and twist about. The essence is to defeat him in the moment when in his mind he is pivoting and twisting. You should examine this well.